It's an interesting time given, of course, we know many households around the world are still battling with the cost of living crisis. This sort of highly uncertain time with record high interest rates across a lot of economies. So we've been taking a look in this Bloomberg story at the cities with the most millionaires and what changes, Belle, that we've seen across these major cities, right? We know these are cities like New York, like Hong Kong, like Sydney at play here as well. When it comes to New York, the stats are quite interesting. One out of every 24 New York City residents is now a millionaire. So the number of people with that seven-figure net worth has jumped in Manhattan, also across the Bay Area, and also Singapore as well is the other one that saw a major boost. Interestingly, Hong Kong, London, Moscow, though, seeing declines. And you see Sydney there also in play as well.
Yeah, it really is that shifting dynamic. I mean, of course, Hong Kong stands out as one that has, as you said, seen that bit of wealth exodus coming through. Tokyo is another where we've seen a bit of a decline. But cities on the rise as well in this part of the world. Shenzhen, for instance, you've got cities across India, Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, Scottsdale, Arizona. All of these are actually seeing more millionaires coming in, or doubling at least in the past 10 years. Really driven by, of course, that boom in financial markets that we've seen concurrently. And actually, this is the most read story on the terminal over the past day or so. It's just banker bonuses. Of course, it's a close topic to many of our viewers, but some can actually really perhaps look ahead to pretty good pay packet toward the end of this year, because the earliest predictions are coming through for Wall Street bonuses this year, and rewards could be set to jump here. So if you're someone who underwrites debt, you could see your payout swell as much as 25%. Deals picking up, we've been tracking that. For bond traders, equity underwriters, incentives could rise as well by 20%. But Heidi, always a very perilous task as well to try and predict bonuses at the start of the year. The big question, of course, is what happens over the coming few months.
Yeah, and what's also interesting, of course, is how we've seen, you mentioned Shenzhen, but I'd imagine there's also lots of changes when it comes to major banking cities like Shanghai, right? We have heard more and more reports of, if not layoffs, but at least some sort of attempts to try and, through attrition, reduce headcount with some of the big Chinese brokerages as the business continues to come under pressure there. So some pretty interesting stats there, and I thought pretty interesting for New York as well, given we have been talking about this big, exodus for that city in favour of Florida.